Hi guys, James here, thank you for coming to watch, and I decided to do another back to basics video straight after the first one that I did because I really enjoyed it. It was incredibly valuable to me to go back to basics, and there's really more I wanted to talk about when it came to that. And it's been a sort of week of struggle and sort of conflict. It sounds very dramatic, but like, you know, sort of creatively, as I mentioned in the first video, so often you get bogged down in everything that's in front of you and you forget to think about what's sort of coming from inside. And that's why last week and this week I decided I would pick a guitar, an amp, a pedal or two and see what happened. This week it took a bit of time. I couldn't decide what to do and I got stuck in my head really. And then yesterday it all just came together, and not to make too big of a deal of it, but really it felt like with this guitar, that amp and the pedals I've chosen, which I'll talk about in a minute, I've really just discovered something about the way I want to play. And that's the most important aspect of really what we're all here for. Just to talk about myself, I feel sometimes I would get bogged down in the gear because you might lack confidence in your playing or confidence in your ability to sort of express your playing to other people. And talking about gear is far easier than playing and talking about the creative aspect of it. So really this is just me taking a step back from all the technical stuff and maybe thinking about going in a different direction even with the channel, whereby some reviews might be slightly less technical but more about the playing side of it as I improve and as I find my own style. But the sort of thing you just heard me play is what just sort of naturally I feel like playing, sort of slightly rhythmical, lots of finger playing, rather than just trying to copy what other people do when it comes to the blues and all that sort of stuff. So what did I pick this week? Well, this had been sitting in the corner, a guitar I love, but for some reason wasn't picking up too much recently. I don't know why. I think I hadn't discovered what this guitar really was for me until what you just heard. And, you know, going back to basics, I decided not to pick one of the 2-rock amps, which undoubtedly would sound better objectively, but creating your own style and expression is not all about what sounds best technically. And I plugged into the Sir Ombre and I plugged into the Vibrolux this week, and as soon as I sort of got the Vibrolux going, the reverb on there just shimmered and created an atmosphere that I really love. Something about the fact that it's got 2 speakers, it envelops you a bit more than a single speaker, and just the reverb in here is stunning what Fender managed to do with reverb. Now, it's quite different from the 2-rock reverbs, which are more focused, probably easier to record with, sound spectacular. I'm under no illusion, my 2-rock amps are incredible. And I'm working my way back towards them, if that makes sense. I'm going through some stages to really figure all this out for myself. So the reverb was one thing. I wanted a decent amount of headroom so that I could use a pedal. I've been wanting to get stuck into this particular pedal. Again, this is not going to be a technical review. I'll show you what it's set at, but I'm not even going to really talk about the settings. I picked up the pedal, plugged it in, I didn't look at the settings, and I just turned it on. So let me show you with it off. So 2 pedals today, the Cali76 compressor, just to take the edge off. It just, obviously it compresses and makes the sound really nice. And then this Peacekeeper by Thorpy FX. So without either of them, and then the Cali76. So that's doing something, a small amount, but when you hit the Peacekeeper, and I've had this pedal sitting to one side since I bought it a few months ago. For some reason, it got overshadowed by all the Origin Effects pedals, by the Duelist, by my new fuzz pedals, the Automaton, everything else that came, overshadowed this little pedal, which is, handmade in England. Not a lot of people making lots of videos about Thorpy FX, but, I've seen them a lot on Andertons and a few other things over the years. And I think the Warthog is the more famous pedal, which I was using in the last video, but I turned this on and I think I might have just found an absolute keeper when it comes to making up the pedal board. I didn't know I was going to have to make another space, so that's going to be somewhat of a challenge, figuring out what to get rid of. But this pedal might, going back to my finding my tone videos, this might be my always on pedal, especially with this setup. There's something about the way it's just breaks up at the right moment, so without it on. But when you put that on, you can still use your dynamics so well. When you pull, that's the exact thing I've been looking for all these months. Let me take you through the amp settings quickly just to show you why I've chosen this. It's loud enough at about 4.5, 5 on the volume, and it's still clean, as you heard. I just balanced out the bass and the treble. In this room I don't have any bass traps. In my new room, which I'll be moving into in about 10 days, I will eventually have some acoustic treatment, probably in January, so it'll be interesting for you guys. Actually, you'll hear it for a month or so without any acoustic treatment, and then it'll get done. And then the reverb is quite high today. We're just over 5, which if you know your Fender amps is pretty high. And then I haven't got the tremolo turned on. Why haven't I got the tremolo turned on? Well, as I said, back to basics. I love tremolo. I'll hide behind tremolo. I'll just enjoy holding the single notes. I'm not even sure I can turn it on without the foot pedal. It's here. No, so you need the foot pedal anyway, so I don't have that plugged in. And then here was the thing, using this Les Paul, which over the last 36 hours I have fallen in love with to a massive extent. I'd fallen in love with this thing as the culmination of an ambition that I've had for my whole life. If you ever saw my unboxing video of it, this was my dream guitar from when I was a kid. And it sat in the corner, and I bought other instruments and didn't quite discover what I wanted this for. Just sitting here playing like this it might be the best guitar for this exact thing that I'm doing. I just feel so comfortable on this neck. Sort of discovering how I'm going to be playing more, developing my own style. It's just got a lovely space to pick here. It's got such depth of sound. What I'll do nearer the end of the video is I'll plug the ES355 in, the guitar that I love the most, that I call my number one. But I'm not sure it's going to have the warmth of this. So if I was to sort of record and play this, which I'm to develop my own music next year, it may be that I do a lot of recording on this one. So really, there's not a lot more to say. Actually, having said all of that, I hope I've kept that quite succinct today. The main gist of this is that if we hide behind our gear, you know, we can lose weeks and weeks of time just thinking about what pedal to use next, what, etc., etc. And of course, that's all fun and interesting, and I'm not going to stop doing that, but I'm going to have a bit more purpose. I've discovered today what the goal of my tone is, and for the first time, I feel like I've put together my love of blues type music with ambient type music. You know, when I was growing up, I used to listen to reissue quite a lot, and obviously I don't play slide guitar, but this sense of dynamics, the sense of picking up rhythm slowly at the beginning of a piece, it's something that I've been trying to develop. And I love that. I love all the picking dynamics. I love sort of using my thumb and my finger together to syncopate the notes. Let's get the ES355. Of course, I'm talking about this one, not the red one that you might be able to see behind me. I'm not sure if you can see it. That one would be fantastic actually for this. It's got really great dynamics, the old red one. Let's just tune this quickly. And let's just see how it sounds in this setup. So I'll play on the neck to begin with. If anything, it's got an even sweeter sound. It doesn't have some of the low end. I'm going to turn the reverb down because obviously being semi-hollow, it gives some airiness in itself. So let's see what that's like. More clarity, more sweetness and smoothness, which I'm not sure that I'm preferring that to the Les Paul. I think equally the necks are comfortable. Picking wise, they're very similar. I just think the weight and heft of that guitar is adding a bit more, but obviously I want to see what it sounds like in recording, and maybe you can help me. Let's play one more guitar, And then in the comments below, you could let me know what you think. This guitar needs some work. I think I am going to get it refretted because I'm probably going to keep it forever. So this was my first foray into vintage guitars, this. And I bought it because it sounded great. It's a real player's guitar. It's not in great condition, but it's got the original patent number pickups. The Vibrolux needs some work. I want to reinstate the baritone. I think it'll be a lot of fun, and maybe have the electrics looked at. It's got the thinner neck, thinner nut width here. Turn the bright switch off for a sec because this guitar is pretty bright. I mean, they're all. I feel very lucky. They're all absolutely great sounding guitars. They all sound different. The Les Paul had a bit more heft, a bit more weight in the low end, a bit more suppleness, I think. The black one was probably the flattest tone, very well balanced, beautiful guitar, very light and smooth. And then this one, very woody. These old pickups. Yeah, that's an embarrassment of riches really when it comes to these three guitars and all of them. So yeah, I thought that might be an interesting one today. I've had a real revelation. I feel like it's been an important few days for me with this Vibrolux, which is just that pure, beautiful silver face Fender sound, luscious reverb, and the way it's broken up, those speakers in there, the Jensen speakers broken up with the Peacekeeper, boy, that is, for me, maybe that is the sound I'm looking for. So it'd be interesting, maybe in the new year, there might not be any more Finding My Tone videos as such. It might just be how to colour the rest of the signal chain to give me as much variety as possible. But I think in terms of always on, maybe the Cali76 and the Peacekeeper together. Absolute dream. I'm going to be playing around with them more this week. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with my dualist review. That was going to come out in 4 parts. I haven't filmed the 3 parts after the first one. Largely, I think, if I'm being 100% honest, doing the strictly technical reviews doesn't actually excite me very much. I want to try and come up with a review format that is both informative but more creative. So I may not continue down that one and hope, 6 months down the line, if anyone's looking back through my channel, they'll just see part 1 of 4, and that's that. I might do a standalone video about the dualist pedal because it is a fantastic high quality pedal, and if you're looking to buy one, there's loads of videos showing you through all the specs, but maybe I can just give my own twist on it, and maybe that's what I should be looking to do. You know, rather than technical reviews, show off what I think is great about the pedal, how I use it creatively in my playing, because I don't want this channel just to be technical reviews, I think, going forward. Yeah, but anyway, as I said in the comments, let me know which of these 3 guitars you thought sounded best. What do you think of my new setup in terms of always on, maybe the Cali76 and the Peacekeeper? And in the next Finding My Tone video, I'll have those 2, and I'll start to add on top. And we'll go back to using one of the 2 rocks, because I haven't used them for about 10 days and I'm missing them. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. If you want to keep up with my journey, then subscribe to the channel. Give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget, if you subscribe and comment, you've got a chance to win one of these ODR 1 pedals from Nobles. Go back and watch the giveaway video, subscribe to the channel, and comment something, anything, something interesting, and I'm going to pick out the hat, a winner, when I get to 1,500 subs anywhere in the world. I'll send it to you. So anyway, yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. See you soon. Cheers.